Howdy folks. So it's been about 2 weeks since my last hike where I got lost at Allegheny State Park. And I just didn't have time to get out last week, but I really lucked out this week because it is a beautiful day. It's just about noon, 12 o'clock, and it's in the low 60s already. It's supposed to get up near 70 before the day is done. It's still snow on the ground. But the sun is shining, it is warm. It just feels awesome to be out. So we're gonna have a nice hike today. I'm gonna wander around a little bit, and then when I find a good spot to take a break, I'm gonna go through some stuff in my backpack that I should have brought with me last time when I ended up getting lost. And maybe some of it would have kept me from getting lost, and some of it would have kept me safe and warm if I was stuck there overnight. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. For now, let's walk into the woods and have a nice day. The end of winter, it's almost spring. The weather's telling me it is spring, so let's enjoy it. So the snow's getting pretty deep as we go down the hill here. I was kind of expecting that. We had so much snow out here for the winter. I didn't think it'd all melt in a couple of days. And really today's the warmest. It's been kind of in the 40s off and on lately, so it's been melting a bit, but today's the warm spring day. That sunshine feels great. It has been a long, dark, cold winter. A lot of days stuck inside, horrible weather, knocking on the window, but it feels good to be out. Feels good to know that spring is coming. Might not be officially spring on the calendar yet, but it's coming. We're almost there. Made it down the hill area, just kind of zigzagging, and there's quite a bit less snow down here. It's melted off quite a bit more, a little bit easier walking. It's warming up too. I've only been out, I've barely started, and I can feel the difference in temperature, partly from walking. It always warms me up, but I can feel the heat of that sun warming up. Perfect, beautiful day to get out. So strange to be going through deep snow, and it feels like summertime otherwise. But I have these kind of hikes every spring. It's always interesting to see the seasons change and catch a day like this where it's really two seasons at once. Some parts look like winter, but everything else feels like spring and summer. I've been kind of poking around off trail, but I just found the trail again, so I thought I'd hop on it for a little bit. Today I'm in Wayland Memorial State Forest in New York, Western New York State. It's one of my favorite state forests to go for some casual hiking, exploring, good mushroom hunting and mushroom season. And it's the kind of place where I can't get lost, because I've been here so many times. I've explored every section, and although it's fairly large, it's not nearly as big as the Alleghenies. So even if I did lose my way, I'd be able to get to a proper road without too much trouble and find some help. But pretty soon I'm gonna sit down for some lunch and we'll go over what's in my pack to see if I could have survived if I was stuck last time and didn't find my way out. From a distance, this looked like it was some kind of shelter, but now I can see it's definitely just trees that fell. Although it could be turned into one without too much effort. But the snow around here is pretty deep. I went off trail again. Just can't stay on the trail today. It's too beautiful, it's too wonderful to explore. I was just saying how I've been here so many times I could never get lost, which is true. But when I'm out here this time of year and it's snowed over like this, it really feels like a new place. So it's a lot of fun to explore. Take routes that I wouldn't be able to take in the summer because they'd be too overgrown. Just see new sights. A little bit of work trudging through the snow, but it's worth it. And it's warm. So I'm happy. Well, folks, I found a really nice spot to take a break. I'm in the full sun. I got this fallen tree with 2 levels to it, nice and dried out from the sun I can sit on. Just over here, on my way over, I noticed a birch tree with tons of bark just falling off it, really dry. So if I needed to make a fire, if I was actually stuck here, this would come in really handy. So anyway, while I'm taking a break here, I'll just go over some stuff I packed that I should have packed last time, and some of the things I did bring. One of the things I did bring was my trekking pole. I haven't used it yet today. I haven't felt the need. It's been pretty easy walking, but this came in really handy going up and down the snowy mountains to give me a little more traction. And especially, you know, about halfway through or so that adventure, my legs were getting sore and it was getting hard to walk and hard to keep up with the up and down and sliding in snow. So this really helped get me out. It's very lightweight, it's compact, but you know, you can make it pretty large, pretty long. So I do recommend something like this. They're relatively inexpensive for what you get. You can always make a walking stick when you're out in the woods, find a stick, but this is lightweight, easy to carry, easy to pack, either inside or clip it or tie it with this. Another thing I had last time, which I didn't need and don't really need this time, is this stool. I like these stools. They're lightweight, easy to pack. Definitely not necessary for survival, but they are convenient. If I didn't find a log and I needed to sit down, this would serve the purpose right here. And if I was stranded, even though it's not essential for survival, just having a comfortable place to sit up off the snow would have been nice. It would have just been good for my morale, you know? So even though it's not essential, it's kind of a nice thing to have. They're pretty cheap, pretty lightweight. The other thing I had with me last time was my spare water. I had this water bottle with me. And that was really it. I didn't bring anything else with me. I didn't even bring extra food. I had a peanut butter sandwich on the way, which I always bring for my lunch, or almost always anyway. It's my go-to lunch. I have one with me today. Peanut butter sandwich for lunch. But I should have brought some extra food. And one of the great things to bring is just like a bar. Some kind of granola bar, Cliff bar, whatever, protein bar. There's about 1,000 different brands and flavors to choose from. So whatever you like. You know, I usually bring a couple of these with me. I'm not going to eat them all in one hike, but I'll bring 2 or 3 just in case. I did not bring extra stuff like that last time. Today I brought this. If I was going to go hiking somewhere like that again, where I'm not familiar and it's wintertime and it's snowy, I would bring multiple extra bars. Some trail mix is a good idea. Nuts, anything that's compact but high calorie is a good idea, and I should have brought more of that, and I didn't. I learned a lesson from getting stuck last time. So here's some stuff I should have brought that I didn't, and just simple things. This isn't super necessary. This is just a piece of foam, but I put it in my backpack. I have a very simple canvas backpack with no support, no padding. So if I stick that in the back, it gives me a little padding, and then if I want, I can stick that underneath me anywhere I sit down, and it's instantly more comfortable. So it's just an easy little thing for comfort. Now some more essential things, I packed 2 different tarps. Okay, this one is just lightweight, but sturdy. Be good for a roof, a little makeshift tent. Just get you out of the rain, or the wind, the snow, whatever. This other one is lined with the reflective material. I figured that'd be good if it was cold, to lay on the ground. If I needed to, I could wrap up in it. It's thicker than one of those emergency blankets, which I also have in my pack. But this is just kind of an extra luxury tarp for the cold weather. And even today, it's almost 70 degrees. I'm sweating just sitting here. The sun is warm, but when the sun goes down, it's gonna get cold. And overnight, it's meant to get pretty cold. It's gonna get probably below freezing or pretty darn close. So if I were stuck out here overnight, even though it's warm now, I would need to be warm later. I'd need a plan. And so I have that to help me stay warm. Now in the front pocket here, all that was in the main pouch. We'll dive into the front pocket. I got a bandana. I almost always have at least one, if not a few bandanas handy. They really come in useful for a lot of different things. Anyway, a compass. I should have had this with me last time. I almost always bring a compass. This is kind of a nice, it's a little bit heavy, a little sturdy. There's a lot of varieties of compass. I'd actually like to get a few more different sizes and styles to experiment with. And but for now, I've got this one. This one works pretty well. And if I had this with me, it would have helped, because I was trying to follow my GPS when I was lost. I didn't have a signal. It was showing me on my map where I was, but I don't think it was always accurate. And that's where this would have come in handy, and I could have got myself pointed in the right direction a little quicker. Got a first aid kit that's important to have. This one's pretty basic. I got random band-aids, a couple gauze bandages, A couple little pouches of like alcohol wipes, antibiotic wipes. I got this is a tick key. This is for removing ticks if I were to get a tick. I've even got a little venom extractor thing if there was a snake bite involved, which thankfully I've never had to use that, but I have that just in case. Just basics. I have this, these are soap sheets. You get these wet and they turn into soap, so if I had to wash up, that would come in handy. This is just a few leftover biodegradable wipes. These come in handy for multiple purposes. There's probably just 2 or 3 left in here. Just the end of the pack, but you know, for a hike, could come in handy for a lot of things. Little mini poncho. These are cheap. These are lightweight. It could come in handy if you go out and you don't think it's going to rain, but it does, or you get lost and you need to make a shelter. This is an extra little thing that can help. It comes with a little whistle, which is kind of nice too if you really need to signal for help. These are pretty darn loud. I've played around with those. I've got my little Stanley cook set thing. These are awesome and they're easy to pack. They're lightweight. They come with cups, but I didn't bring the cups because I wanted to make, this is just like an example of what you could put in here. I've got an emergency blanket in here. I've got my knife sharpener in here just in case I need it. And then I've got this big bundle of paracord. If I needed to make a shelter with those tarps, I've got more than enough rope here. And I could put this anywhere in my bag and you could pack other stuff in here. I think if I was gonna bring extra food, I might just pack it right in here. It's versatile. If I need to boil water, I can use it. If I need to cook food, I've got it. It's great to have this little thing. It's lightweight, it's easy. You know, I just put an example of some random stuff in here, but you can fill it with anything that you might need to save space in your bag. Then I have this random bag of kind of survival-y stuff. I was cleaning all my gear, organizing it the other day, and I found this thing. And it's just like this little plastic container. It's got a pencil, it's got a few matches, it's got tweezers. It looks like maybe fishing line and like a razor blade. I think if I was gonna like pack this for real as a survival thing, I would probably put my own items in here that I know for sure I know how to use and would likely need to use. This is kind of random. Could come in handy though, especially like I'm not a fisherman. If you're a fisherman and you've got this fishing line and stuff, you could probably catch yourself a fish if you didn't have anything else. But at least it has the matches. This is another thing I threw in here that I made a while ago. I don't remember where I first saw this, if it was in a book or even a YouTube video, where I just took a pencil and I broke it in half to make it shorter, and then I wrapped it in duct tape. So I've got a pencil if I want to write anything down, but then I've also got a mini roll of duct tape. You know, it's a little sticky to undo, but if I wanted to, I could undo that, and I've got duct tape for any emergency purpose. Last thing in the little bag here is I've got a little tea light candle. If it's really wet from snow, rain, mud, and I need to start a fire, this can come in handy. If I get my tinder together and I can burn a candle underneath it, maybe scrape some wax into it. So that's just a little something. The one thing I think I need the most is a nice little flint and steel striker. I always carry a lighter for emergencies, but lighters can run out of fuel, they can break, and same with, I've got the matches in here, but the matches can get wet, they can break, they're gonna run out, there's only so many. And those strikers work really well. I've used them before, I've been with other people that use them, so that's the one thing I know if any survivalist is watching is probably thinking that's what I need, and I agree. Those things, they're not gonna get wet or they're not gonna run out of fuel. It's just about making your own fuel to light, which the other thing I did not bring last time but have with me today is my knife. This is actually, this was a gift, and I haven't used it too much, but it's a very high quality, simple knife. It's not too big, it's not too heavy, but it's very strong. I could split wood with this if I needed to. Can, you know, make tinder. It's very sharp still. A little simple knife like this can go a long way when you're stuck in the woods. And I'm not a hunter, I'm not a trapper, I wouldn't use it for anything like that, but when it comes to making a fire or a shelter, yeah, this would make things a lot easier, a lot more effective, and it's good to have something like that, and even for protection if I absolutely had to, but let's hope it doesn't come to that. I do have my hip pouch on, But this is just for my phone and extra camera batteries. It's kind of extra from what I'm actually hiking with. Everything I showed you was stuffed in my bag, and it was not very heavy, and it could go a long way in making a night lost in the woods pretty comfortable compared to having nothing. So from now on, I think I'm going to be more prepared, and hopefully you are too. All right, the last thing I'm going to pack up, I forgot to show off in the first gear talk. Something I grabbed on the way out the door is life straw. I've had this for a few years and never used it. I feel like maybe I should get a new one just so it's fresh, but it came with this little pouch and syringe if I want to have the whole kit going. You could use just this, and this can attach to other types of bottles, but it came with this, so I threw it all in my backpack. You know, if I run out of water, I have my Stanley cook set to boil it if I need to, but I could also just use this to filter it. It's not something I always think to bring. I think in the future, if I'm bringing it, I will bring just the straw, not the whole kit here, but I figured bring everything to show you guys. And hey, give me water to drink. Water is important. If I can stay warm and drink water, I can survive for a couple of days. So if you're still watching this far in, you only deserve to know the scat report. It's been like this everywhere, the whole hike. It's just scat city. The deer must be eating well and leaving their mark everywhere. Now walking along one of my favorite creeks. I've done many videos here, or at least several, I should say. Last summer, walking this creek looking for fossils, looking for mushrooms on the side. I'm not going to go in there today necessarily. I might change my mind, but for now, I'm back on a trail. I'm going to take the trail for a while. I've really enjoyed just meandering out here for a few hours. I'm in no rush to leave. It's just such a wonderful day. And this time of year, they come and go. It'll warm up, it'll get cold, it'll warm up, it'll get cold. I'm so lucky that I got to take advantage of one of the, well, definitely the warmest day we've had yet this season, this year. And probably the warmest day we're gonna have for a little while. So I lucked out. here at a bridge. It's covered in some pretty thick snow. It's very icy now that I'm up on it. I'm going slow so I don't slip and fall. We've been on this bridge many times in other videos. It's a great little break spot. It's not usually covered in this much snow. But I think I'm still going to take a little break here. In fact, I think I might go ahead and pack up the camera for the day and just spend the rest of the afternoon me and nature with nobody else. So thanks for watching. If you have any tips, suggestions, comments about my survival pack, let me know in the comments section. Leave a little something for me to read. I'm always open to suggestions and learning new things. I'm not an expert. I should have said that when I was going through the gear. I'm not a bushcraft guy. I'm not a survivalist. I'm not an expert. I just love hiking. I love the outdoors. And I want to be prepared and be able to survive and thrive if I have to. So after you leave a comment, like the video, subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and I will see you next time.